We're here with Dr. Zach Murphy from Innova Prep in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, but we're not just here with Dr. Zach Murphy. We're here with Clark and Lily Murphy as well. Tell us how these people relate to you. Who are they?
Well, they're students at the school. That's mainly it.
Yeah, that's all they are to you.
That's all they
just
are.
Students.
Yeah. No, this is my son and my daughter. They both attend the school. So Clark, we got a diagnosis of autism for Clark, and our school obviously serves students with autism.
Right.
And Lily has ADHD and dyslexia.
Okay.
So they, fit the perfect mold for what the school is.
Yeah.
And other than that, they are just my kids. And I think that fits a lot of different, checks a lot of different boxes.
For sure. And I love that they're here because we've been doing a video series about Innova Prep.
Right.
And kind of your backstory and what your role is at the school, and then who the school serves,
Right.
which is neurodivergent students with dyslexia, ADHD, anxiety, autism. Pretty much anything in those sort of categories can be served, right?
Right.
And so we've been talking, but now we have actual students from the school, which I think is great. So we're going to hear from them in this video. So let's kind of dive in here. We're going to start with, in previous episodes, we talked about how the impact of the school on students is not just academic, but it kind of, goes into their social life, their family's community life. It goes into a lot of other sort of parts of their life beyond just what they do in the classroom. So let's talk about relationships and belonging and how that impacts learning. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Part of the school experience is to make friends and to have some of those social things that when you think of your school experience that maybe you had or in your past in being in education that you witness students have. And so a lot of students with neurodiversity, it's not as natural for them to get to experience those things in a, neurotypical public setting.
Yeah.
So our school really provides an opportunity for those kids to have a network, to have a community, to make friends that, are very much like them.
Yeah.
So both of my children have benefited from having peers that have similar stories that they have, and getting to feel less isolated and more part of, hey, this is a group of people that see me for me, and I'm able to, lean into how unique I am, and it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even celebrate it.
Right. Not just, in a previous episode, we said not just get through the day, but actually enjoy your time at school.
And to get in the car and talk about the day in a way that is not negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait to tell your parents all about it.
Right.
Yeah, which is great. All right. So what kind of academic growth have you seen at the school? And maybe kind of tied back into that social growth and that community growth. Can you talk a little bit about that and maybe bring in some other people if you feel so led?
Right. The opportunity to feel good about yourself, no matter if it's how you physically look or how you emotionally feel or how you academically perform, any of those things have a tremendous positive impact on your well-being.
Yeah.
So for what success looks like, I honestly think it would be best to ask some of the people who have began to feel what success looks like.
I would love to hear from them.
Clark, what is success for you?
Before, when I was in public school, there was always a sort of disconnect I could feel between the amount of effort that teachers would put into the rest of the class compared to me, because I have certain struggles and needs that other kids don't. A lot of the time, those things get overlooked in a public school setting, such as my diabetes and other sensory needs that I've had as well. I've had certain teachers that were not as receptive to those things. For example, I had a science teacher that had a lot of the time she confiscated one of my medical devices because it fell out of my pocket.
Oh no.
And it looked like a phone, and she knew it wasn't a phone, but she still confiscated it for relatively, I'd say, no reason.
Yeah.
That sort of a sharp contrast to my experience at Innova Prep, where the staff is quite receptive and accepting. I feel like when I need help, I get it.
Yeah.
And I can see that as well for other kids.
Yeah.
Everybody gets the help that they need, and it's more about equity rather than the sort of equality that doesn't really work for everybody in public school.
That's a great way to say it. And if you have a medical device that falls out of your pocket at Innova Prep, what happens? They know what it is. Yeah.
I can pull my phone out actually because I have a CGM Dexcom G7 that connects to my phone.
Okay.
And my teachers don't really question it when I pull out my phone to check my blood sugar. And
of course.
I don't get judged by the other kids as much because
everybody's
at
in the
public
same
school. The kids were jealous because they thought I would like pull out my phone to play a game or something.
And you're like,
I'm
just checking my blood sugar.
My blood sugar is like sky high, and I need to bolus, and you think I'm playing or something.
Yeah.
Quite a
little bit of a shift, huh?
Yeah.
A little different.
Socially as well, I've never really fit in at public school. So I never really had really good friends. And I could always tell there was sort of a, not really divide, so to say, but like a difference between me and other students that made me less able to socialize with them normally, because there was always some difference in understanding between all of us, and occasionally things that would sound normal to me would be out of pocket to other people, or I wouldn't pick up on certain cues, and it would look strange. So I never really found a group or a friend. And since coming to Innova Prep, I did have one really good friend. They're not really at the school anymore, but we kept in contact for a good bit, and they're quite a good friend. And I generally synergize. Like I'm in a quite small group of seniors, and we all get along pretty well, and we're all sort of one big friend group, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of speaking the same language, right? Did it kind of feel like you were speaking different languages with when you were at the public school? Like you just couldn't, the communication wasn't working.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because we're all neurodivergent. We've all had similar experiences.
Right.
So, and we've been together for so long at this point that we all really know each other. So it's kind of know what to expect, and we can all really mesh with each other now after a while.
Sounds pretty great.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I guess it wouldn't be sugarcoating; it'd be like salt coating that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not gonna downplay it.
Not gonna downplay it.
Yeah, it is really great.
It is.
Do you enjoy going to school?
More than I did going to public school.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not really a fair question for anybody, but I don't hate it anymore.
Have to cut this part.
I don't hate it anymore. Which is an incredible, sizable improvement.
Yeah. No, that's huge. That's great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And then go to
I think success is getting home from school and not dreading having to go back the next day.
Like immediately you would get home and be like, oh no, I have to go back before.
Or like getting a question wrong and knowing that the teachers will let me make it up.
Yeah.
Not feeling judged when I have trouble reading a word or stutter while reading something. Knowing that there are other people in my class that have the same struggles as me.
Right.
Being able to express that I'm having trouble with things and not worrying that I'll get a bad grade, because I know that I'll have a chance to make it up and that it'll be okay.
Yeah. And then what about socially? What's the difference been for you?
I feel like I've always never really had too much trouble making friends, but I felt like there was always a rift, a difference between my struggles and their struggles. But now that I'm at Innova, it's like I have more friends. I'd say I have less friends than I did when I was in public school, but the friends that I have now, I would trust with my life.
Yeah.
There are people it's not a lot of people, but I have things in common with these people.
Right. Kind of what your brother was saying. You understand each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can understand what that person is going through,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't feel as if I'm in a completely different world
Right.
from other people.
Right. I imagine that's a nice feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked about Innova, being a very individualized place as far as how progress is measured. It's not all standardized across the grade level. It is to the individual. So to me, it sounds like you do have expectations of people, right? How are you balancing having appropriately high expectations of the students with supporting them and what they're going through?
Part of that is what we talked about earlier in
Mm-hmm.
in the episode, or maybe in a previous one, is that when a family comes in, we spread out everything. We know where those students' strengths are. We know where those areas for growth are.
Yeah.
So we know what to target. We know where they can do better, and we know where there needs to be that additional support,
Yeah.
that additional remediation. So we have teachers that in all of our classrooms, obviously there are either tables or desks like you would see in
Mm-hmm.
other classrooms, but there's also spaces that allow for small group interventions. And so when those students are struggling, each of those horseshoe tables,
Mm-hmm.
if you walk around our campus and you go room to room, at any given time, you're going to see a teacher with either a child or two or three at a table, giving those children that additional help in that.
Yeah.
So we have high expectations that all of our students are going to grow.
Right.
All of our students, that's really the expectation that I have, is that we grow the children, but we do so in a way that is realistic for them.
Mhm.
We want to set high expectations, but we want them to be realistic expectations, and we want a scaffold to get there.
Yeah.
And as long as our students are growing, and
Mhm.
again, we test them when they first come, in the middle of the year, and at the end of the year, with knowing what their strengths are
Mhm.
and playing to those strengths, they build that confidence,
Mhm.
and they build trust in the environment where, again, they can look around and see there's people like me here, that
Yeah.
I don't have to mask up. I don't have to pretend.
Right.
It's okay for me to struggle with math. It's okay for me to struggle with reading, and that's okay. And they're going to help me.
Yeah.
And so I believe when a lot less anxiety or masking is put up for trying to compensate or hide
Mhm.
where you need that help, if that child is able to be more comfortable in asking for the type of help that they're
Mhm.
going to need. And a lot of our teachers are very perceptive because they've worked with these populations for so long to know, okay, this is where that child is going to need help.
Mhm.
And we have some wonderful programs too that we put our students on that allows us to really target what specifically needs targeting.
Okay.
and how to get that help. Overall, I think that technology helps us do it, but also
Mhm.
our teachers' willingness and love and passion for working with this population. So
Mhm.
you combine good programming with good teaching and compassionate people, there's going to be massive transformation
Right.
that takes place.
Yeah. Yeah. What does success look like at Innova and beyond? And maybe you want to start this one and pass it over to them. I don't know, but let's just kind of talk about, we've talked a little bit about what success looks like at the school. What does it look like beyond the school or outside of the school?
Success can look like getting that first job. It can be
Mhm.
getting into a trade program for many of our kids. It can be going on to a 4-year university. For some of our students, it may mean going to a community college so that it still is small,
Right.
but still gives them kind of a ramp up to what a 4-year may be.
Yeah.
So success is there's something beyond the high school.
Yeah.
Success is that I'm still not finished leaning into who I am going to be.
Yeah.
A study in 2021 came out that said 81% of those on the spectrum, high school's as far as they go. And when I read that, it completely changed the way that I thought about what we do and the importance of what we do. And I've reached out to universities, community colleges, got a partnership with one that's 2 red lights away from us to where our students can participate in taking college courses. And that way, when our students graduate, they're already not part of that statistic. They already have college courses under their belt, and they're able to say, you know what, I can do college. I've already done it. And some of our students struggled with it. I'm going to be honest. But they were able to have that struggle while they were with us.
Yeah.
They were able to learn, hey, I need to shoot that professor an email. They're not automatically going to know that I need this or that. I need to take my accommodations to student services. So what success looks like beyond is us helping them get a taste of it while they're with us, so that when they do finish, they're prepared for what's next.
I think that's great. I love the idea of having the struggle while they're with you. One of my children's teachers used to say to her, I'm not going to steal that struggle from you. If they were having a hard time with something, she would support them and help them through it, but she wouldn't do it for them.
Right.
Because it was important they worked their way through it.
Yes.
And then we can kind of pause right there and say, what do y'all want to add to this? Anything about kind of beyond high school, kind of where you're thinking for the future?
My academics have progressed and stayed quite stable at Innova Prep. So I've applied for a scholarship at William Carey, and I've already overcome some barriers for many people on the spectrum. Like, I don't know the exact percentage, but I'm sure my dad would, of people on the spectrum that don't have their driver's license. And I've learned how to drive. And
that's great.
I have my license. And I've
Congratulations.
driven from home to Hattiesburg. Hattiesburg's like 20 or something minutes away.
So a pretty good drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And only took out 1 curb at a Dollar General.
Amazing. Look
Only
at you.
one.
Only 1.
Unbelievable.
Like, that's...
Well, there's plenty of other
I'm my
Dollar
mother's
Generals,
child.
He said he's his mother's child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She was busy saying there's plenty of other Dollar Generals. I don't know if
They
you
won't
heard
even notice.
that. No.
They'll just rebuild
How will they know?
They'll just rebuild another one at the next stop sign.
You're right. No, she's not wrong. Yeah. That's very true.
So how does not just applying for college and getting a full paid scholarship and driving, how did those things make you feel about having the confidence to do those things where you really struggled with some of that confidence before?
I feel quite grateful to Innova, honestly, and to you for, convincing me to come and be part of that community, and then keeping school afloat, having it grow and having students grow. So there's that. And I do feel a lot more confident in myself and my abilities than I did before, because I'm in an environment where I'm supported and accepted.
So you're excited about after high school? Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Do you know what you want to study?
I'm doing just general studies right now. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay not to know yet.
Yeah, I know.
I told him I changed a bajillion times before I decided.
I feel like most people do. You kind of get into it and realize that what you thought you wanted to do maybe isn't it. Maybe it's the other thing over here.
And that's a struggle for a lot of people, but especially, I won't group the whole neurodiverse community in, but especially for those on the spectrum, is that black and white thinking. He had to have all the answers, had to have everything.
Right.
So when we begin to make a path and begin to make a plan, it's got to look like this, and it may not. There's going to be some areas that are gray.
Yeah.
But as long as we're setting a goal, as long as we have a plan, it's okay if some things aren't exactly mapped out step by step. Some of it we're going to navigate. We're going to figure out when we're in the midst of it.
Right.
And that's what we call life. But we've got enough confidence and skills that we've overcome these other things. We're going to overcome this next step too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And now you know you can. Right.
Yeah.
You can adapt. That's great. I'm wondering what you would say about after high school and.
Well, I haven't even. Not that I've even reached high school yet, but.
That's right. You're in 8th grade right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'd say outside of school, what success is like.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's being able to have much an easier time reading things and being able to be like, oh, I know how to do this. I know how to code this word. I know.
Yeah.
I don't need help. I don't. I can do this. But I think it's. I still have trouble, but I don't have as much trouble as like. I used to say that I hated books, that I despised them.
Yeah.
But now I buy books. I've got books in my room. I buy them and I read them occasionally and then I stop because it's boring.
But then do you come back around to it eventually?
I buy books.
What kind of books do you buy?
Well,
you bought some really diverse genres the other day.
Yeah, I bought some books on herbs. I bought a book on ADHD. I have the free time to do all these other things, and I'm not sitting at the table crying over math homework.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice to not be crying over math homework.
I have the confidence that I can read this, you know, or I read something in a book and I have trouble with it, and then I realize, or I read something in a book and I realize I've went over this. I've decoded this word in therapy before. I can read this.
You recognize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to read something, you know you can.
Mm-hmm.
In this episode of the series we're doing about Innova Prep, we've been joined by two very lovely guests, Lily and Clark Murphy, who are the children of Dr. Zach Murphy. And they've been telling us just kind of about their experiences at the school and what it's meant for them. But we've been talking about other things in other episodes they might be interested about. So if you are curious about the school and want to know more, you can start by visiting innovaprep.org and just kind of do a little research and see what you think. And if it sounds like something you want to know more about, give the school a call. Dr. Murphy will be happy to talk to you.
Certainly.
Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it.